Hi, everyone. I just want to take a couple of minutes to go over with you the principle that the density of an object stays the same. No matter how many times we take an object and cut it in half, the density of that object remains the same because density is a property of the object. So, for example, if you have a glass with a certain density and you drop it and it shatters into 1,000 pieces, every single piece has the exact same density and has the exact same density as that full glass. So here I have a cube of metal, and each cube of metal has a side that is 2.0 centimeters. And the larger piece, the first one here, its mass is 16.0 grams. If I want to find the volume, remember I do length times width times height. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. So I have 8.0 cubic centimeters for my volume. I'm always going to be using my formula, density equals mass divided by volume. So 16 divided by 8, my density of this object is 2.0. But then I decide I'm going to take this cube of metal and I'm going to cut it in half. Now, when I cut it in half, this side is still 2 centimeters. This side is now 1 centimeter, and this side is now remains 2 centimeters. So how long are all the sides of the cube? I have 2 centimeters, 2 centimeters, and 1 centimeter. So my volume, 2 times 2 times 1, my volume is 4.0 cubic centimeters. Now the mass, since I cut it in half and its initial mass was 16, if I cut the object in half, its mass gets cut in half. So now the mass is 8.0. Again, I'm going to use this formula, density equals mass divided by volume, and 8 divided by 4 is 2.0. Well, look at that. My large cube has a density of 2.0, but the exact same material cube that is half the size has a density of 2.0. Well, now I'm going to cut that piece again in half yet again. When I cut it in half, this side is 2 centimeters, this side is now 1 centimeter, and this side is now 1 centimeter. So 2 times 1 times 1, my volume is 2.0 cubic centimeter, but I just cut it in half. It was 8.0 grams, now it is 4.0 grams. Density equals mass divided by volume. I'm going back to my density formula. 4 divided by 2 is 2.0. Well, look at that. 2.0, 2.0, 2.0. It doesn't matter how many times I cut the object, it is still the same material. If this was, for example, a piece of aluminum and it was 2.0 grams per cubic centimeter and I cut it in half, it's still the same material, still aluminum, it's still 2.0. So here now, when I cut it again, my sides are 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. And when I multiply 1 times 1 times 1, my volume is 1.0 cubic centimeter. But remember, I cut it in half. It was 4.0 grams. So now when I cut it in half, it is 2.0 grams. Again, I'm back up to my density formula. Density is mass divided by volume. 2 divided by 1 is 2. Well, look at that. 2.0, 2.0, 2.0, 2.0. It does not matter how many times I cut this object in half, the density will always be 2.0 grams per cubic centimeter. So the conclusion says that the mass and the volume of an object may change, but the density will stay the same. So this is a very important concept. Density stays the same. No matter how many times we cut something in half, the density stays the same because it is a property of that object. Please make sure that you have this conclusion box copied down in your notes. You need to make sure you know that no matter how many times we break an object, the density remains the same. Have a good day, everyone.